You are welcome to this channel. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe to our channel. In the news today, Obi replies Soludo, Babangida Aliyu, former Anambra State Governor, Governor Peter Obi, yesterday reiterated his resolve to serve a 4-year single term if elected as president in 2027. He maintained his determination to recontest in a statement posted on his official X, formerly Twitter, handle, describing the pledge as sacrosanct and rooted in his commitment to purposeful and accountable leadership. Obi started, "I will serve only one term of 4 years if elected president, and that vow is sacrosanct." It was a veiled reaction to the remarks by Anambra State Governor Chukwuemeka Soludo and former Niger State Governor Babangida Aliyu, who doubted that Obi would keep to his works. Soludo, who spoke in Awka, the state capital, at the weekend, said any presidential aspirant who promised to spend one term could not be trusted, adding that he should be referred to a psychiatrist. He said, "Some of them want to lie to us. How can anyone with a brain, you think you are talking to fools? You come to people and say, 'I will do only one term.' Any politician who says that must be sent to a psychiatric home because the person must have some the mental problems. When the constitution allows you to stay up to 8 years, you come and tell us where it has ever happened. Anybody who says he needs only one time needs psychiatric evaluation because you are taking everybody to be a fool." Speaking on television last week, Aliyu, who acknowledged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's feats, said a single term of 4 years is not feasible. Reflecting on the push for a one-term president for the North by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) or South by Obi of the Labour Party (LP), Aliyu said it is illogical, adding that nobody can predict the future. He stressed, "I have heard many of the presidential aspirants already saying they will serve one term. Now, if a northerner says he's serving one term, what problem is he creating for the North? If a southerner says, 'I'm only going to serve one term,' what guarantee do you have?" Other observers contended that Obi may renege on his promise, recalling that when he vowed not to defect from the All Progressive Grand Alliance (APGA) in 2010, he ate his words and defected to PDP when he became running mate to Atiku in 2019. But citing examples of globally respected leaders who served brief yet impactful terms, Obi promised to follow the example of former United States President Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, as well as former South African President Nelson Mandela. He stressed, "One of the greatest American presidents, Abraham Lincoln, served only 4 years, yet his legacy endures. Mandela chose to serve only one term. His decision was a deliberate act of leadership." Acknowledging widespread distrust in the country, Obi said many Nigerians no longer take politicians for their words. He stated, "But even in this climate of cynicism, there are still a few whose actions have matched their words, whose integrity is built on verifiable facts." Obi tackled the skepticism over his one-term vow, saying, "Recently, I became aware of two statements aimed, albeit indirectly, at my vow to serve only a single 4-year term. One person remarked that even if I was sworn in by a shrine, I shouldn't be believed. Another suggested that anyone talking about doing only one term should undergo psychiatric evaluation. Nobody can predict the future." He stressed, "I have heard many of the presidential aspirants already saying they will serve one term. Now, if a northerner says he's serving one term, what problem is he creating for the North? If a southerner said, 'I'm only going to serve one term,' what guarantee do you have?" Other observers contended that Obi may renege on his promise, recalling that when he vowed not to defect from the All Progressive Grand Alliance (APGA) in 2010, he ate his word and defected to the PDP, where he became running mate to Atiku in 2019. But citing examples of globally respected leaders who served brief yet impactful terms, Obi promised to follow the examples of former United States President Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, as well as former South African President Nelson Mandela. He stressed one of the greatest American presidents, Abraham Lincoln, served only 4 years, yet his legacy endures.
Mandela chose to serve only one term. His decision was a deliberate act of leadership. Acknowledging widespread distrust in the country, Obi said many Nigerians no longer take politicians for their words. He stated, "But even in this climate of cynicism, there are still a few whose actions have matched their words, whose integrity is built on verifiable facts." Obi tackled the skepticism over his one-term vow, saying, "Recently, I became aware of two statements aimed, albeit indirectly, at my vow to serve only a single 4-year term. One person remarked that even if I was sworn in by a shrine, I still wouldn't be believed. Another suggested that anyone talking about doing only one term should undergo psychiatric evaluation." Obi defended his record as a former governor, saying, "I fulfilled each of these promises without deviation. My word is my bond." He also outlined his top priorities, including improving governance, tackling insecurity, prioritizing education and healthcare, fighting corruption, and transforming Nigeria's economy from consumption-based to production-driven. Obi added, 48 months is enough for any leader who is focused and prepared to make a meaningful difference. Well, it is easier said than done. Well, if Peter Obi want to prove everybody wrong, I think he will need to get the benefit of doubt. But looking at antecedents of leadership, especially in Africa, we have the tendency of sit-tight syndrome. Thank God for democracy that only allow you for a maximum of 8 years. After that, another person can come in. But still, in Nigeria, for example, we remember the first president in the Fourth Republic wanting to do a third term agenda that was resisted vehemently by the House of Assembly then. So that is the kind of blood or the DNA that we have in Africa. So for an Obi to now come out to say he wants to do otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult for anybody to believe, not only in Nigeria, all over Africa, because most people don't want to leave. Nelson Mandela, that Obi pointed referred to, was too old to govern, and the old man knew that being in government is a burden on him. That was why he left. Not a younger Obi who is not even up to 70 years of age, and he's saying he will only spend one term, then he will leave. Actually, we have not seen such before. The likes of Mobutu Sese Seko, they all sit there, they don't want to leave. The likes of Robert Mugabe, even while he was booted up, they don't want to leave. Well, and a lot of them, even in Ivory Coast there, they all want to sit there and not leave. So if Peter Obi is coming with something new, I think Nigerians will need to really shine their eyes and make their decisions in 2027. Keep liking. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you share. Thank you.